All right. What's going on? So, right now is the busy time of the season for me, and I said I wasn't going to make any videos really until, next year. But this is something that I really wanted to just express. And I feel like if one person can hear this and see this, and let me just say, thanks for joining, by the way. Uh, Let me just say this and preference it in the beginning so that if you don't want to see this video, you can go ahead and cut off this video. I just want to just say what the subject is. And the subject is a man's worth. Okay. So, for whatever reason, valid or not, if you don't want to hear about what a man's worth is, just cut off the video. But if you do want to know what a man's worth is, I'm going to illustrate this to you today. All right. First off, I'd like to start out by saying that when a man isn't given anything, a man's got to earn everything. So it doesn't work the same as it worked for women. Women already have value, right? They already have value from the day that they come out of the womb. Everything that they need is already inside of them. Literally, their eggs are inside of them that they're going to be using for the duration of the time in their life at an appointment where they're going to be able to have children. So it's very easy for women to get things, and it's not as easy for men to get things. This isn't a myth. This isn't my opinion. This is just a fact. This is the world that we live in. Before I get into the value of a man's work, let me help you understand something about women. All right. So women can get into things without doing anything that men cannot get into unless they earn them. All right. I can name several examples. Okay. You go to the club, VIP. Guess what? A woman can get into VIP without having any money. A woman can get drinks without having any money. But one thing that a woman can't, the one thing that you need to know is a man can't do that. A man's not getting in VIP unless he pays for it or unless he's closely affiliated with the person who is paying for it. Name me a situation where a man is getting in the club for free or getting in the club easy or getting into VIP easy. It doesn't happen. It does not happen at all. And I want to try to get to the point of this. Let's say you got a boat, let's say you got a yacht or a yacht party, right? When you go on a yacht party, let's say it's a lot of people there, okay? Is there usually an even number of men and women on the yacht party? If it is, it's because it's an event that's structured for couples. But typically, if a yacht party, first of all, if it's going to be more populated with women than it is going to be men. Why? Because the person that owns that boat, the person that owns that yacht, he either rented or paid for that yacht, and he's paying for the amenities. And then he doesn't want to invite a whole bunch of men because he wants to have fun. Men don't have fun with men like men have fun with women. Okay. Men hunt, play basketball, go shoot, you whatever the case may be together. But men, we don't have fun with men like we have fun with women. So what do you think happens on a yacht party where it's a whole lot of women and it's just a few men? And who are the men up there? The person that's responsible or the people that are responsible for paying for the boat or renting it or owning it, and the other guys that are able to come, they have a close enough relationship with the person that pays for that boat to the point where they can get on and they can be able to have fun. And what do you think happens on these yacht parties? Okay. What do you think the common thread is? Are these guys inviting women to a yacht party if they aren't going to be willing? Let's just say a guy, he's in a position and he says, "Hey, look, you want to come to this yacht party that I'm having? A yacht? Yeah, I want to come to a yacht. Come on. All right. But I mean, you down? You down to have a little fun? Yeah, yeah, I'm down to have a little fun." And that's not even really spoken. It is the unspoken word that if you come to that yacht party, you you need to be ready to get down with the get down. Now, I don't think that because a girl comes to a yacht party that the guy is entitled to sleep with all of them. That's not what I'm saying. But typically, if you're at a yacht party or a party or something like that that she comes to, or whatever the case may be, She may be tested. Now, as a gentleman, you need to be respectful, of course. If she doesn't want to oblige to take it there with you, you just leave her alone. Take no as no. But what I'm saying is, if a guy approaches a girl on a yacht party and she doesn't seem to be down at all or interested at all in connecting with him physically or in the manner in which he wants to be connected with, the experience for her is going to change. Even if he is the consummate gentleman, the experience for her is going to change. And what is it going to change into? Oh, so you were just here for the experience, the fun, and the food, right? Okay, enjoy the experience, enjoy the fun, and enjoy the food. I'm going to mingle with somebody else who's willing to give me what I'm looking for. Now, the next time I have a party, I won't invite you because I know that you're not interested in me and you're not interested in taking it where I want to go. And you're at liberty to be able to make the decision that you don't want to take it to that experience. But for me, because I've worked hard and I put myself in a position and I have a yacht, then I can be selective. So I might not want to sleep with every girl on that yacht, but the women that I want to sleep with on the yacht, I'd like to have the opportunity to sleep with them, right? I'm telling you the thought process of a man that has something. Now, you got some guys out there, some bozos out there. They will, if a woman says no, he'll rape her. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about a consummate gentleman. Well, if he wants to sleep with a lot of people, now you can sleep with a lot of people and you can still be courteous and respectful of other people's wishes. But what I'm saying is, the women on that boat should have a basic understanding and know that these are some things that are possible. If they don't want to entertain those possibilities, they should make the executive decision to not get on the boat. And that's what happens with people who don't take responsibility and are accountable. If you don't want, if a guy invites you over to his house and it is after 11 o'clock and you don't understand that those are leg opening hours, then you're a fool. You should not go to his house and say, I'm going to go to his house and I'm not going to have sex with him. If you don't want to have sex with him, you don't have to have sex with him. Then when he asks you to come over and it's 11:30 at night, you can say, ain't nothing open this late except 7-Eleven and Legs, and I ain't trying to go there. And as a gentleman, he's supposed to respect that. But what the problem is, you think that you can go and get what you want without being able to give up something. And see, here's how it works. It's give and take. And if you're a woman that you constantly put yourself in a position where you're taken and you don't want to be held accountable for giving something, then you can't take. You cannot go in the store and purchase anything without money. You can't go in there and say, oh, I'm cute, so I don't want to purchase anything, but I want something. I want to take something. You can't do that. What world do you live in? If a woman goes to the yacht party, she needs to filter. If she can't filter her emotions through her logic, which I know that's not the natural pathway for a woman's thought process, but if she can't do that, then she needs to find some source that she can take her emotions through a logical filter. Ask any guy that cares about you, a family member or something, and you say, hey, I was thinking about going to this yacht party this weekend. Oh, who's going to be there? It's probably going to be a whole bunch of girls and just a few guys. If that guy cares anything about you that you're saying that to, he's going to let you know. Okay, sweetheart, you know why those guys are having that yacht party, right? They want to have sex with a lot of women. And it's going to be women at that yacht party that wants to have sex. They're not going to say, you can only have sex with me. They're going to want to have sex because they're going to want to be invited to the next yacht party. You understand? So they are not going to be sitting there going through this filter process of, you know what, if you're going to sleep with me, you're going to have to marry me. If you're going to sleep with me, I'm the only one that you can sleep with. Like, it is unrealistic for a guy who has a lot of money, a lot of resources, something that he had to get out of the mud, and he has a yacht party and all of these women are there and nobody's going to take any interest in them. He'll kick everybody off the boat. He'll turn that boat around. That guy is having he just wants to have a yacht party so he can just, he can enjoy the breeze and the wave. He can go on his yacht by himself, sweetheart. Men and women are not attracted the same way to each other. When a man, so now let me get to the point of what I mean by the value of a man. So you get it. Women can get into places and have access to things, not because of what they've earned, but because of what they are in value internally. But make no mistakes about it, lady. Just because a guy is interested in you because you're beautiful, or because you have a big butt, or you have big breast, or you have a beautiful face, or whatever the case may be, there is two types of interest, okay, in common. I mean, not in common, but there are two types of common interest, and that is he wants you for who you are, or he wants you for what you are. If you are the type of woman who you broadcast what you are, that's what you're going to, that is you saying, this is my value. And anybody that values that will come to buy it. But even the ones that value that come to buy it, just because they don't want to do it. If you're a beautiful woman, a guy doesn't sit there and say, I just want to hit it once. Some guys who have access to a lot of girls may say that. But a lot of guys is just like, I want to hit it, and I want to hit it as often as I can. So I'll tell her and say whatever she wants to hear so I can prolong me having an opportunity to hit that as often as I can. Now the bubble bust and she says, are you using me for my body, or whatever the case may be? And if he's a simp, he will acquiesce to what she wants. But if he stands for what he feels like he wants to stand for, he may say, I'm sorry, I just don't want anything serious. So you wasted my time. You wasted all of my time. You're just going to just use my body as an object. I wish you wouldn't look at it like that. But, I just don't want anything serious. I just want to have fun. Well, I'm not some fun girl. If he's going to stand on what he wants to stand on, he's going to be like, well, I'm sorry. I guess that's the end of the road. I wish you the best. In some kind of capacity, that's what he's going to do. But if he's like a weak man, he may acquiesce. And I've been there. My first, the female that I married, the female that I married in college, that's what happened to me too. I did not want to. I know this sounds bad, but I'm just going to tell you the truth. I did not want to be in anything with her. I thought she was attractive and I wanted to hit it. And while I was hitting it, I made a commitment because I was forced to make a commitment. I wasn't standing on anything. You understand? I was weak. I wasn't standing on anything. And it turned into a relationship that turned out to be not the best decision in my life. Respectfully, not the best decision in my life. Okay? But a man who has value, and I didn't have any value at that time. I had potential, but I had no value. A man who has value and knows his value, he's not going to settle for any mess. Any mess that you give. Well, I have 2-3 children, and you need to love my 2 or 3 children just like they're your own. I need a father figure. A man who has value and has choices. I'm not saying that he has value. See, there's men that are valuable out there, but they might not have the choice. If given a choice, a man can choose an old woman or a young woman. He's going to choose a young woman. If given the choice that a man has a woman who has children versus a woman that doesn't have children, he's going to choose the woman with no children. Why? Because your children are valuable to only you and the man that you made them with. And if you or the man that you made your children with don't value the children, nobody is going to value those children that way unless They don't understand what can possibly happen. Because here's what can possibly happen. Y'all heard about Tia Mowry, how she wanted to leave her, or want to divorce her husband. I don't know where they are in the process, but want to divorce their husband. Let's not even call her name out. Let's just say in general, a woman who doesn't have a reason to leave, but she's unhappy, can leave a man. Now, statistically, the average marriage happens for 7 to 8 years, and then it ends in divorce. And 50% of those marriages end in divorce. So you have the divorces you have the relationships that last for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. So all of them are in the averages to make the average 7 to 8 years. So what man wants to go out there and create value for himself, get to a place where he is making money, getting a bag, and securing a bag, becomes an asset to society and not a liability, and figures out how to acquire value and keep value. What man is signing up in his right mind to be with a woman who emotionally will make a decision one day? I just don't want to be with you anymore. I'm not feeling you anymore. I don't want to be with you anymore. All to give you half of everything that he got. And in some cases, yeah, maybe you married a guy and he didn't have anything. And then while he was with you, he ended up becoming something, right? How much did you help him become that? So just because he didn't have what he has now, and now you want to leave him, you're entitled to half of what he has? Would you let somebody take half of what you have? Be honest. Yeah, no, I would love to give up half of what I have to someone if I don't want to be with them. That's bull. Men aren't putting up with that. Here is another thing. If a woman says she doesn't want to be with a broke man, she's not vilified for that. She said, no, 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 I can't be with a broke man. I can't be with a brokey. Some of them have even say, I can't be with a 9 to 5 man. Okay. Do we say anything about that? Do we try to convince you? No, I think you're being female chauvinistic. Okay. I think you're being female chauvinistic by saying you don't want to be with a broke man. You should accept me for my brokenness. She would laugh in your face. So she is entitled to have an opinion about not wanting to be with a broke man. But if a man says to you, I don't want to be with a woman that has children, or I don't want to be with a woman who is fat, or he stresses any kind of preference, he's completely vilified, and he is not permitted to have an opinion about what he wants. See, men will go out there and they will say, you know what? Every time I talk to a woman, they want a woman that's got money. They want a woman that got muscle. They want a man that's got money, muscles, and that matter. Okay, that's what they want. Then I got to go out there. I got to work on me, and I got to go out there and become that. Now, when he goes out there and he works on it, he goes back to school, he picks up a trade, he starts a business, or whatever the case may be, he starts making money. Here's what you don't understand happens, ladies. What happens is that as he raises in value, he's going to develop some standards. No man is going to go out there and have preferences and put his preferences on the back burner because the first woman that comes up to him that wants a committed relationship with him, he's supposed to say yes to that. No, he has the ability to say no. You know why he has the ability to say no? Because he looks halfway decent, takes baths, cares for himself, has a way of making income, and he matters in life, and he's not a liability. So because of those things, He don't have to be the most money making. He doesn't have to be the most handsome. He doesn't have to be the most anything. The fact that he's better than most allows him to be able to have a standard so that he can say, this is what I'm not going to tolerate. I'm not going to tolerate a nagging woman. I'm not going to tolerate a woman that has children because I can get a woman that don't have children. I'm not going to tolerate a woman who's in her 40s or 50s and she doesn't have any children and doesn't, or she's already had children and she won't have any more children. Why would I submit myself to a woman if I want to have children and I want to continue a legacy? Why would I be with a woman who already has children and stresses she doesn't want to have any children, any more children? What good is that going to do for me? If I settle for that, I'm simply saying that I can't find a woman who doesn't have children and want to have children. So a man doesn't value himself if he really needs something or he really wants something, and a woman, he runs across a woman who's not willing to give him what he really needs. We ain't even talking about wants. We're talking about needs. Well, why can't you just be with me? I already got children, so we don't need this. We can skip that step. So we can just go ahead and you can take care of my children and you can be their daddies. Okay, if I do that, and you get upset with me and you get mad with me, what court in America is going to allow me to continue to have a relationship with your children? Well, trust me. Trust me. I won't let them. I will let you be in their lives and see them if you're doing good for them or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Like you promised to always be with me and you left me. Do you see what I'm saying? And it ain't even no guarantee with a woman if you have biological children with her, that when you guys separate and divide, that as a man, you're going to be able to have access to those children. She can lie and say, he beat on me. He beat on my children. He lied to me. He set me up. He abandoned us, or whatever the case may be. And just about every court in America is going to side with that woman because it's always been about trying to divide the house, especially for people like us. It's always been about take the man out of the house. Take him out of the house. Ladies, do you know why they want to take a man out of the house? Because there's no cover now. And women are the consumers. So we want the consumer to be in to be in a position to make the decisions. Then what they do, because women are emotional, is women make decisions without cover. And a woman you can always count on 9 times out of 10 to make a decision with her emotions. And the bigger the decision, the less emotions need to be involved. 9 times out of 10. There isn't too many decisions that you make in your life that are critical and important that requires no logic. And when you are an emotional being and you are a decision maker, you will not make good decisions because you have to filter logic through emotions. And women aren't designed to do that naturally. Can a woman develop steps, keys for her to read to make sound decisions? She certainly can. But if you lined up 100 women, how many of them will do it? Women are designed to be who they are, just like men are designed to be who they are. It is a woman's nature to be warm. It is a man's nature to be cold. So a man operating in his masculinity is going to show coldness. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's wrong. Just like I'm not saying a woman that shows warmth is right or wrong. It's just yin and yang. A woman is going to make and operate like a woman, no matter how masculine she's acting. When it gets hot in the kitchen, she's going to resort back to it's like a woman who gets in a man's face, talks crap, points at her, so on and so forth, and then swings and hits a man. That's not feminine. That's masculine. But as soon as she hits a man and the man looks like he's going to hit her back, she has no problem falling into femininity. She has no problem playing the damsel in distress. She go upside his head, it's no problem. He does the same exact thing to her. How could you put your hands on a woman? And I call it identity crisis, because you were certainly acting like a man. Lord knows we don't need to be putting our hands on each other, let alone man or woman. But a woman operating in her femininity and a man operating in his masculinity, they're never at odds with each other. They don't have any issues with each other. They're not competing for the same space. They're not competing or fighting against each other for the same thing, because they have two totally different functions. Your hands are never saying to your feet, I wish I could be you. The hands are designed to do what the feet can't, and the feet are designed to do what the hands can, but they're supposed to work with each other in duality. I need to reach something. My feet take me over to what I need to reach, and my hands put it around whatever I need to reach. They working together in duality. So when the hands want to go over here and they want to touch this particular object, and the feet takes it and walks it further and further away, they're not working together. And that's what you essentially have today, is because women, they have a mind of their own. I'm not saying that they once didn't. I'm just saying that the man is supposed to be the head, the woman is supposed to be the backbone. The woman is taking head responsibilities and she's walking in a different direction than the man that she's with. And you wonder why relationships last 7, 8 years in marriage. And just because it ends in 7 or 8 years, it doesn't mean that it's on its way down in year 7 and year 8. Divorce don't happen overnight. A woman starts mentally leaving a man before she actually leaves a man. She starts checking out. And why you say, oh, you're talking about the women? Well, the women are leaving marriages. Change my mind by changing the stats. Now, I spent all of this time talking about all of this stuff just to set up the preference, to set up this. What is a man's value? A man's worth. What is a man's worth? A man's worth is what he goes out and he creates. I'm not talking about self-worth. A man's self-worth ain't got nothing to do with nothing. He can't get nothing with self-worth. He can't get anything unless he goes out there and he acquires. Everything about a man in terms of value is what he can acquire. And I'm not just talking about money, I'm talking about respect, talking about work ethic, everything. He has to do everything outside of himself to raise the value of himself. I ain't gonna talk about the women no more. So when a man, most men don't understand that, because most men aren't led by men. Most men are led by women today, and especially in the melanated community like mine. Most women are leading men. And so the problem you have with women leading men is, bless their hearts, the single mothers out there, bless their hearts. Some of them are wrongfully single mothers, but nonetheless, a woman can only give what she got. And if a woman's going to give her perspective and her processes to her children. So if she's giving her process to her son, then he is more than likely going to process things as like a woman. So he's going to grow up and he's going to 9 times out of 10 make emotional decisions, and or he's going to try to when he's dating, he's trying to overcompensate for what his mother didn't have. And he's going to try to supply that to the most neediest woman out there. Most of the time he's going to get with a needy woman, because he feels like the more I give a woman, the more valuable I am to a woman. But to a woman that's needy and can't be self-sufficient under her own right, she's going to milk him, drain him, and then leave him. She's not going to respect him. Marriage is supposed to be enterprise. It's supposed to be a business. So if a woman is able to provide herself food, clothing, and shelter, she's able to provide that for herself, and she knows with confidence that she can provide that for herself. She's not looking for a man to do that for her. She's looking for a man, or she wants to elect a man, because men propose. She wants to elect the kind of man who can take care of himself on that level too. And then together they can figure out how to take their both of what they have and combine it for the elevation in the building. Marriage protects her because it, I won't say it guarantees, but it better ensures her that she's going to have a commitment of that man being around. And all she really got to do is to be the best person that she can be and do the things that she did to get him. If she can continue to do the things to keep him, that doesn't guarantee anything. But a man that values his woman and a man that's receiving that consistency from his woman and not based on feelings, he's prone to stay with that woman because we got some pretty erratic marriages and men are hanging in there. It's the women that aren't hanging in there today. It's the women that are leaving the marriages. Some of them have good reason to leave marriages, but as you know, some of them ain't no good reason for them leaving. They're not in love anymore, so they want to move on. They want to be in loved all their life. They want to be in love all their lives. I just want to be loved. I want to be held. I want to be great. That's what you want. But what you need is a man who's going to commit to you and do his assignment, whether he feels like it or not. It's not about how much, it's about what he does with what he has. You can actually help elevate a man in so many different capacities without him changing the trajectory of who he is as a man. You trying to make your man as a worker and he doesn't want to own a business. You're trying to make that man a business owner and you think that's your job. If he doesn't want to run a business, that's not the only way that you guys can get to the heights that you want to get to. How about you be a good steward of what he brings home, investing in those things instead of investing in things, the trinkets, things that you buy that if you try to sell, you would never get anything for it. There is appreciation and depreciation. And so often we value the things that depreciate. And then when we get in a little conundrum, we want to sell what we bought that depreciates and get upset that we can't get as much as we paid for it. Well, newsflash, that's the way that it works. Invest in what appreciates and stop investing in what depreciates. A husband is an appreciation. Okay. You don't go into a marriage and have a successful marriage and depreciate your husband. You go into a marriage if it's going to last and you appreciate your husband. And appreciation literally means increase in time and value. You know, like when you go and buy some of those collector watches, they appreciate. So if you're buying collector watches, you're not buying something that depreciates. You go and buy a certain bag or shoes or whatever the case may be. The moment that you start using it, the moment it loses its value. I'm not saying that you can never have anything that depreciates, but what does your portfolio look like in your life? Everything that you acquire is either an appreciation or a depreciation. So show me the things that you spend your money on and your time on, if it appreciates or depreciates. Go ahead, I'll wait. Don't give me this. When I go get my nails done and I go get my hair done, that accentuates my husband and this, that, and the other. He ain't asking you to go get your nails and your hair done. He only is for you going to get your hair and your nails done because you're going to continue to cry about it until you get it. And he wants you to be happy. But those things don't even really make you happy. They supplement you into the next pothole that you come across. A woman doesn't have to get her nails done and she can have good nails. She can take care of her nails. Listen, I mean, I know I'm not a woman, but listen, y'all got these things on you. Y'all got these tips. What is wrong with taking care of what you have? You got hair that grow from your head. What is wrong with taking care of your hair that grows from your head? You don't have to. I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. But once upon a time, I come from a place where once upon a time, women used to know how to do hair at home. And it won't perms either. They knew how to do their hair at home. Women don't know how to do that anymore. Once upon a time, a woman took care of her face predominantly. No, women don't have to do that anymore. They can have as many blemishes, marks, bumps, whatever allergic reaction to their face, and they can beat their faces up to look like they're perfect, and they're not healthy. And you cannot tell me, you cannot convince me that the stuff that you put on your face is healthy for your face. If if chemicals don't assimilate to the body, they don't assimilate to the body. That means they'll go in to accomplish one thing and then they'll cause something, some kind of problem with the other thing. Didn't we learn that about fibroids? Fibroids a lot come from, sorry, fibroids come from perms, right? And we found out a lot of women were getting them. I knew women personally in my life, family members that were getting fibroids. As soon as they stopped perming their hair, all of a sudden, magically, no more fibroids, causing all kinds of health problems. Chemicals don't assimilate to the body. No matter how much you want it to, no matter how darling it makes you look, it just don't assimilate to the body. And I don't have any information about these things that y'all put on y'all nails or whatever the case may be. But I really, really wonder what it's going to look like when the women that do a lot of those things to their nails, what their nails look like when they get older. A man has to go out there and he has to acquire his value. He has to go out there and he has to earn his value. And he can't just go out there and earn his value. He has to go out there and what he earns, he has to protect and he has to keep. A lot of you women call it insecurity, but I call it very much so security, because anything that is of value to you, you're not going to handle cavalier. You want a man to be there for you, to be your husband, but you don't want a man that's going to tell you don't go here and don't do this and don't do that. When a man tells you I don't want you doing this and I don't want you doing that, you're ready to fight him for your independence. Instead of saying to yourself, at the core of what he's asking me, does he really care about me? Does he really love me? And does he really want the best for me? If you are with a man that doesn't love you and want the best for you, what are you with him for? You're just mad that he's telling you to do something that you don't want to do. But if we sitting in the car and I see somebody doing a drive-by and I tell you to duck, I don't want to hear you telling me why. I don't want to hear you asking me, well, why do I need to duck? Why I need to duck? If I tell you to duck, just duck. Listen to what I'm saying. The moment that you feel like you can't listen to what I'm saying, why are we together? But you stay with me because you like the perks that come with me. I ain't gonna listen to him, but he sure take care of me. I ain't gonna listen to him. He keep my hair done. He keep my nails done. He keep money in my bank account. So I mean, what to deal with that? You want somebody you want the perks and the benefits of the position, but you don't want to do the job. Well, I'm telling you, ladies, I got news for you. Do you know how hard it is to find a good man? A man that says, I just want to be with you. And I want to take care of you. And I want to spend the rest of my life with you. If you knew better, you would take that man and you would worship that man like the God he is. Because how many men out there are going to do that for you? Then you lay down and you have children with him. And let me tell you something about when you have children, ladies, your value to the world outside of that man tremendously decreases. You cannot tell me you become more value becoming a mother than you did before you were a mother. I know you heard this before. Name anything with usage over the course of time that increases in value. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. One of the most sexiest women to me is Lisa Ray. Y'all remember when she came out, Players Club? Now, let me ask you a question, because I'm not going to compare Lisa Ray to anybody else but herself. Who do you think is the most sexiest and got it going on? 25-year-old Lisa Ray or 50-year-old Lisa Ray? Which one do you choose? Well, if you got any common sense, you would easily say the younger Lisa Ray over the older Lisa Ray. Why? Because the more set in her ways she is as she gets older, the harder she's going to be to deal with, number one. Number two, I don't know if she had children before she was 25, but let's pretend she didn't. The younger Lisa Ray, who didn't have children was obviously more valuable to the men out there that would possibly look to marry her than it would be when she has children in her 50s. That's just a fact. That's not an opinion. All of them, all gorgeous. Halle Berry. Halle Berry from Boomerang or Halle Berry today? Now, Halle Berry looks fine, just like Lisa Ray today. Lisa Ray looks very good. Halle Berry looks very good. But Lisa Ray and Halle Berry today, they can't compare to Lisa Ray and Halle Berry of yesterday. They may have done a better job than most at preservation. But in terms of when it comes to being with the man, they cannot offer now what they could offer then. A lot of times when women have children, they don't want to have any more children. Let a woman have a couple of kids, 2, 3 kids, or whatever the case may be, and you meet her and you just think she's gorgeous. Oh, I met Lisa Ray yesterday. She is so sexy. Oh my gosh, did you see her body? She still got it going on. I would drink her bathwater. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, Lisa Ray. You're into me? Yeah, baby, I'm into you. Oh man, that's great. Or whatever the case may be. Hey, what do you think about children? What do you think about? What are you talking about children? You talking about me having more children? Well, I don't have any children. I want to have children. Well, you're gonna have to be with somebody else. You know what a simple say? Well, I guess I don't need any children. I can always look at your children like my own. And she like, yeah, you can. And it's up to her. Soon as she don't want to be with you, you screwed. There ain't nothing that's entitling you to the children that she had already. She gonna be like, they got their own daddy. No, I don't want to, and I don't want to have nothing to do with you anymore. It ain't work out between us. Sorry, bub. So now you done wasted all that time being with Lisa Ray and her fine ass. She didn't want to give you no children, and you wasted time wanting to have children. Now, granted, you're a man, you can start back over again. So you can have children when you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. You can have children. Dr. Sebi was having children in his late years, right? But the thing about a woman, as fine as Lisa Ray is, even if she wanted to have more children, would it be easy, or would it be more difficult for her to have children? When a woman gets into her 30s, she becomes higher risk pregnancy. You could literally imagine being in love with a woman who's 35 years old, right? She's 35 years old and she's saying to you, yes, I will give you children. And you guys have a wonderful relationship. And while she's giving birth to your children or to your child, she has a complication. Either that child dies, she dies, or both of you die. Don't act like women don't die giving birth. They are more susceptible to have this happen to them than any other race. Black women, more susceptible to having that happen than any other race of people on this earth, for whatever the reasons are. So now how do you feel? You found this great woman in Lisa Ray. She said, I would love to have your children. And then all of a sudden, she's giving birth to your child. And now you lost her. Let's say the child survives. Did you sign up to be a single parent? Because now you're going to be a single parent. Because no matter how much mommy wanted to be there for you, it took her life. So now you're going to be raising these children by yourself. I would say equally on different footing. It is just as bad for a single man to raise children as it is for a single woman to raise children. You're putting that child in a statistical disadvantage. If they're going to be at a statistical disadvantage and you can control as many variables as you can, wouldn't you do that? So why would you go and try to have children with somebody who's over 40 years old? Can it work out? It certainly can. But you can go and rob a bank and get away with it too. It's not likely. You may get caught. Are you willing to deal with the consequences of getting caught? So look, a man's value is what he goes out there and acquires. But ladies, when a man goes out there and he acquires his values, he's going to acquire standards. When a man doesn't have nothing and he doesn't have many options, he got to kind of take what he has available to him. Okay. Women control access to sex, men control access to relationships. So when a woman is in high demand, she can make demands before giving sex. When a man is in high demand, he can make demands about getting in a relationship with him. Look, I can't be with a woman that don't cook and clean. What? Are you male chauvinistic? That word, that phrase. You a male chauvinistic pig. Well, what's wrong with me wanting a woman that can cook? Well, I mean, that ain't the only thing that's important. It's important to me. Yeah, but you shouldn't want that. You shouldn't want that. You should allow a woman to be able to. This is the new age. This is the day of modern women. Like, okay, I know what the world does, but what the world does doesn't work for me. And as the head of my own vision, I have the right, I've earned the right to be able to lay out the assignments that need to be done and who's going to do them. If you don't want to do them, that's fine. And this is the power that men have to speak to because, fellas, there's way more women out there than there is men. So even if you run across a beautiful girl, okay, I've ran across beautiful girls in my life that it didn't work out with it. And as soon as you think that, dang, I missed out on that dime, here comes another dime with a better mentality. The women don't want to hear that, but that's the fact of the reality. If you're saying to yourself, I want a submissive woman, you say submissive to women today in America, and they look at you like you are blasphemous. So what? We dogs? Nobody said you were a dog. I just want a submissive woman. You just want a yes woman. You're right. I'm so sorry. I want a no woman. I want a woman that's going to tell me no. No is good for me. You see the trickery right there? You see the trickery. Yeah, I want a woman that's going to challenge me, make things more difficult for me. Like every man is looking for life to be better for him because the world makes life hard for us, especially melanated men like myself. The world is not geared and set up to benefit me. It's an uphill climb. It is an upstream swim to be black in America, black in this world. I can't speak about the world. I don't know what it's like in the world outside of America, but I know what it's like in America. Personally, it's not easy. As soon as you start to do it, this is my experience. As soon as I start to figure something out, as soon as I figure out the code of matrix in any category, in any particular category, as soon as I like something, as soon as I want something, as soon as I start accessing what I really, really want, oftentimes it's taken away from me. It's almost like Big Brother. Oh, so you like that? Oh, well, I got to take that away from you. Oh, you're making money. Oh, I got to take that away from you. So it's constantly on a grind of when I figure it out and I figure out how to make money in a particular sector, I'm never safe there. I got to take advantage of that opportunity and I got to look at new opportunities. That's why I live by this 3-point business creed. Get in, get on, be gone. What do I mean by that as a man? To get into something means I'm rolling up my sleeves and I'm doing it myself. Insurance. I go out there and I write policies. I get paid on those policies. Get on. That means I created a system to help me produce resources from insurance. Be gone. That means it is self-generating. It is self-sufficient in whatever capacity it is. And I don't have to do anything for it. And then I move on and I'm focused and concentrating on something else. I believe that a man's life should be used to build as many of these types of get in, get on, and be gones as possible. Donald Trump, don't like him, don't care. Let's use him as an example. Donald Trump, according to his group, his business group has 500 businesses underneath his umbrella. Why does a man need 500 businesses? Well, especially if forget the color, especially if you're a man and you're making money, America, the world loves to root for the underdog. But when the underdog becomes the overdog, America and the world wants to try to do whatever they can to tear you down. The more money and fame that you make, the more the people feel like they have an entitlement of how you should be and conduct yourself, what you should say and what you shouldn't. That's why LeBron was told to shut up and dribble. That's why Kyrie is being vilified for having free thought. Did is what if you go back and you look at the evidence of what if you go back and look at the evidence, when Kyrie says, I'm not, how can I be anti-Semitic? And you go back and you do your research, you'll find out how anti-Semitic he was or not. You understand? That's not my opinion, but it's just the fact of the matter is the facts are the truth, and the truth is what you should stand on. The truth doesn't have the truth doesn't have a problem with you checking it to see if it's thorough. A lie has that insecurity. So when a man goes out there, ladies, and a man doesn't tolerate disrespect. I'm talking about no one tolerates disrespect. I know, there ain't women that say, hey, I'd like to be disrespected. I'm just saying that it's so critical for a man to have baseline respect. If a man can't have baseline respect and he has any type of authority in terms of him walking in his authority, he has the ability to be able to move people out of his domain or go somewhere else and start another domain. So you ladies think that when you start getting at it with your man, I'm not talking about ladies, but you females think you start getting at it with your man and you can start fussing and fighting with him. You can, it's going to be a fight about whether you get the house or he gets the house, whether you get the cars or he gets the cars, whether you get the clothes and he gets the clothes, whether he gets the children or you get the children. Let me tell you something about a man who's walking in his purpose. A man can get in, get on, and be gone, no matter what. He can have a big house. He can have a big car. He can have a big whatever. And if you want to fight with him and he's operating in his principles, he ain't fighting with you. Have the house, have the cars. And a lot of men will simply say, have the kids. I'll see them when I see them. That sounds cold. This is the nature of a man. A man is not going to sit there and fight with you to have something that he created. He'll just go and create it again. This is why women have an expiration date on having children, and men don't. Men can have children. A man can be with a woman and have 5 children. And if it doesn't work out and she wants to stand in his way of seeing his children, he's going to say, it's not worth the stress. I'm moving on and I'm going to start a new family. And he doesn't care what folks think about him, good or bad. He walked away from his family. How could he walk away from his family? Well, maybe you don't know what led to him making the decision that he did. Maybe he couldn't have access to his family. Because ladies, listen to this. The world has made you feel like those are your children. But it's the one who create the seed. Yes, you're the mother, but that man is that is his children. You are in his life to help him. He's not in your life for him to help you. See, that's the trick. Got you thinking like you a man. You in my life to serve my purpose. Wrong, wrong, heifer. He ain't in your life to serve your purpose. You in his life to aid and assist him, being his companion and being his helpmate. If you want to believe it's anything else, go and believe that it's something else. But if you take a man and you take a woman and you separate them and you tell them for the rest of your life, you are responsible for taking care of everything for yourself. You know who's going to ask for help first in this physical world that we live in? Women. And they're not going to ask other women. They're going to ask some other man. And here's the thing. If you don't have the payment to give a man for helping you, well, there's other means of payment. And he's going to want you to pay up. You're not going to keep going to a man and getting him to do favors for you and he ain't getting nothing out of the deal. I'm sorry, sweetheart. That is not the way it works. You think that you can go into the grocery store, like I said, and you can walk out of there without paying? You got another thing coming. And even if you have a tab with him, you're going to eventually run up the tab. And it's going to be eventually, okay, it's time for you to pay up. You keep coming over there fixing your car, keep coming over there fixing stuff in your house. He keep coming over there unscrewing and screwing in new light bulbs or whatever the case may be. He gonna want to fix you. He gonna want to screw you. And if you got a problem with that, then you're gonna have yourself having men in and out of your life. But as you get older, it's gonna be harder for you to do that. Lisa Ray can get with it still because she's still good looking. But I bet you she can't do it quite as well as she once did. Because men ain't going for being used no more. Y'all saying men don't want to marry. All right. Men don't want to marry because y'all keep giving us this data that shows y'all don't want to be married either. Y'all are looking for a come up. Y'all don't even want to be married. A lot of y'all just want to get a sponsor. You want somebody that's going to pay for your time. Someone that's going to supplement you for bills. Some, most, or all. You would love to find a man that takes care of everything you need so you can take your coins and do whatever you want to do with them. And then when you've got enough coins stacked up, your little false confidence is going to say, well, I don't need him anymore. And some of you will be like, I don't have a reason to leave him, though, because he's not cheating on me. He's not lying to me and he's not mistreating me. I wish he would cheat on me. I wish he would. I could just catch him in a lie. And some of you will go as far as you'll manipulate situations so he can do stuff like that. So he can mess up and you can have a good reason to leave because you live for the public. You want the public to know that you were wrong, but you want to cloak what you did wrong. If your man is taking care of everything, everything, there is nothing that you need to do to go out there and make anything. He takes care of all of the bills, all of the utilities, and he gives you the option to live life on the terms that you want to live, whether you want to work part-time, full-time, or no time. If he gives you the ability to make everything a choice for you, you shouldn't do anything short of kiss the ground he walks on and shut up when he speaks. He has earned the right for you to shut up, and he's earned the right for you to respect him to the highest level. There should be no person on this earth that you respect more than your husband. If your husband is putting out consistently that, you don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about food, water, shelter. You don't have to worry about clothes. You don't have to worry about options. You don't have to worry about opportunities. And you get to wake up every day. And the only thing you got to concern yourself with is him and the children. Ma'am, you need to shut up and you need to praise that man, because where can you find today a man who is going to do that? And if they're out there, what are their standards? You can't get men like that willy-nilly, because if you got kids or you got age on you, they have options. A good man knows he's in demand. And he's not scared to lose because he's always winning. Matter of fact, A good man knows that losing is part of the war. You're going to lose battles in wars, but you don't have to win every battle to win the war. You just got to win more battles than you lose. And a real man knows that. So if a man loses a woman after 5 minutes, 5 years, 25 years, he knows that he can get back up if he is of worth. He ain't even got to look for a woman, sis. All he got to do is exist, and they're gonna come flocking to him. They don't come flocking to him. He ain't got to look for no woman. A real man never looks for his woman because he's too focused on his purpose. When a man is focused on his purpose, he understands everything that he needs and wants is going to come to him in an attraction. The law of attraction is going to serve a man in his purpose well. So he's not concerned. You think because y'all break up, he's out there looking for another woman. He ain't got to look for another woman. A woman can spot a good man. Even a bad woman can spot a good man. And she will throw himself at him. Ladies, your value from the day you're born is already there. So that means as time goes on, there comes a point where when you're a woman, your value is here when you're born. Okay. Notice I didn't say down here. It's already here. As you cultivate what you are, there is a period where it starts to go up. But there is a point where it is plateaued. Okay. And when it plateaus, eventually it's going to start to go down. Now, some people have longer stretches of plateau, and some other people have longer stretches of inclining. But every one of these women out here, they're going to have their day of decline. And everybody's decline doesn't look the same. Some declines are like this, and some declines are a sharp heel down. You know, I ain't knocking this, but I'm just going to keep it 100. Y'all remember Jasmine Guy from A Different World? Remember how, whether she was your type or not, you could acknowledge that she was gorgeous. Okay. Look at Jasmine Guy then and look at Jasmine Guy now. Don't you see a suddenness to Jasmine Guy? A suddenness. Does Jasmine Guy look like she did when she was doing A Different World? That's not an opinion. Does she look like it? No. Now watch this. Y'all remember Phylicia Rashad from The Cosby Show? Okay. Look at Phylicia Rashad now and look at her then. Now, is there a difference between her then and now? Absolutely. But is the decline the same for Jasmine Guy as it was for Phylicia Rashad? No. Phylicia Rashad, she, from a physical standpoint, she preserved longer than Jasmine Guy. And you don't know what your decline is going to be. You hope your decline is slow. But some of you are running around trying to make it possible, trying to make the impossible possible. I'll never decline. I'll always look good. I'll continue to get Botox. I'll continue to get this surgery, this enhancement, that enhancement. You know, when you're getting Botox, the older you get, the way them wrinkles on your face is, the only way to people going to see how big your head is getting. Your head's going to get fatter because you're going to start losing. And then all you're going to do to keep those wrinkles away is you're putting something in there to push it out. You're going to be a big face person when you're old if you're trying to still look young. Age gracefully. But see, if you do the things and lock up the things you're supposed to lock up in the time frame that you're supposed to lock it up, the age and the way you look isn't going to matter because your value will always increase with a man that appreciates you. So your thing is, if you feel, even if a man's got assets and he's got things that you want, if that man doesn't show that he appreciates you, you shouldn't be with him. And fellas, this is what I'm going to say about women. If a woman, it's in particular a woman, displays the inability to have remorse for doing wrong, Run from that chick. You need to be with a woman who will get riddled with guilt for doing wrong, because that's going to be her saving grace. You ain't going to have to you ain't going to have to manage that so much. A woman that has a conviction in her heart for doing right and staying away from doing wrong. That is the key, fellas. No matter how beautiful she is or whatever the case may be, you want to be with a woman that can't bring herself to do certain things. A woman that will do something wrong to you, like disrespect you or lie to you, and when cornered, still fights the bad fight to stick with her story. That's a bad woman. That's a bad woman. And if you're with a woman like that, I'm not telling you to leave her, but you need to make the adjustment. This woman will do whatever she wants to do, even when it's not the right thing to do. You want to be with somebody who prides themselves on doing the right thing. I'm not saying that they're going to do the right thing all the time, but when they do the wrong thing, it won't be pride keeping them from taking responsibility for what they did and trying to make the necessary changes to never do that again. There's certain things that's just forbidden. Now, for me, it's the cheating. If you cheat on me, I ain't gonna fight no dude, and I ain't gonna fight you. If you cheat on me, I'm gonna say, I may shake the dude's hand and say, man, you are a better man than me. I'm gonna look at her and I'm gonna tell her, I have no choice. I gotta go. Not no, oh, I'm sorry. Because what? I forgive her. She's gonna feel like, well, damn. If he forgive me once, he can forgive me again. The confidence is irrational. Yeah, I want to be with somebody that's just there's certain things that they just ain't capable of. Like, I don't want to be with a woman that's going to put her hands on me in an unloving way. Like, would a woman want to be with a man that puts his hands on her in an unloving way? The first time he displays doing something like that, you need to kill it. It's over. If you even thought that he was capable of doing that, it should be over. A woman that disrespects me. If a woman feels like she is your equal, and look, this is going to rub people wrong. I don't care, but it's the fact. We live in a physical world. Whoever has the advantage has the edge. Men have the advantage in the physical world. Now, spiritually, women have the advantage. If we lived in a spiritual world and women wanted to be the top dog, no argument for me, that's what it would be. But obviously, the way the world is designed and critical thinking and how important logic is, this is why men make better leaders. I'm not saying women can't lead, and women can find leadership in the following role. She's the leader of those children. See, it's the Most High, man, woman, children. That's the order. It's not my order. It's the order the way that it is. And the responsibility of the one that's ahead is much more than the responsibility of the one that's below. My wife has less responsibilities than me. My children have less responsibilities than my wife. And the Most High has more responsibilities than me. But I am the last line on earth. So I'm at the head. I'm at the top. If what's underneath the head? The backbone. So if my wife is underneath me, she's the backbone. The backbone is critical because it's handicapped without a backbone, right? You don't have a spinal cord. You don't have a backbone. You don't have a body to stand up. You'll be like Stephen Hawking was. You are in a wheelchair and the only thing that you can move is your head. And Stephen Hawking was brilliant, but imagine what he could have done if he didn't have the limitations that he had. You understand? So it's like women, you need to understand that men are designed to be the head, but not every man is designed and worthy to be your head. So stop saying that men aren't worthy of being heads and just say you haven't found a man that could be worthy of being your head. But there are men that are worthy out there. But if you keep digging in the trash, all you're going to find is garbage. That's why women have to work on themselves so they elevate themselves to be seen by a different crop. See, the the rot most of the time the rotten fruit are the ones that are low hanging and the ones that are on the ground. The best fruits are typically the ones at the top. So if the best fruits are the ones at the top, guess what? You got to earn your way to the top as a man or a woman. So this is why women need to make sure that they are working on improving themselves. I'm not talking about getting degrees and this, that, and the other, whatever the case may be. A man knows what he wants. You got to find out what a man wants. And then if you want a quality man, you got to be able to perform and give consistently what a man wants. Period. Point blank. End of discussion. It's not for debate. You telling a man, I don't, value me because I went to school and I got a master's degree. Value me because I've been around the world. Value me because as a mother, because I have children and I know what I'm doing, I'm experienced. You can't make a man value what he doesn't want to value, just like you don't want a man. On the flip side, you don't want men can't make women value about them what they don't value about men. Baby, I really think you shouldn't. I think you're going overboard wanting to be with a man that makes six figures. I make $50,000 a year, and I'm a good man. You should want me. See how that works. $50,000 a year. Well, yeah, baby, that's the average income. I mean, I don't want no average man. You're right. I understand. I don't want an average woman, and I think you're average. What? Yeah. Tell me what you bring that's more valuable than anybody else. What sets you apart from the average person, from the average woman? You can't answer that? Get back to me. Because you are quick to tell me I'm average and you want me to accept that. And you want me to do something about it. But you can't accept that I'm telling you you're average and you can't accept the responsibility of doing something about it. It's like women treat men a dime a dozen when men are more rare than women are. Take the black man for an example. The prison system is predominantly filled with black men, not white men, not Asian men. You ever seen a Jew? You ever seen how rare it is to see a Jewish man in prison? He had to do something crazy. I know those rabbis up in I think Jersey or something like that. A bunch of Jewish men or whatever the case may be. They ended up going to jail or whatever the case may be. Like a spectacle to you, wasn't it? It was like, oh my gosh, can you believe they're arresting Jewish people? But you see a black person get arrested, and how common is that? So black men aren't common. And if they ain't in prison, what about the ones that choose to be with other men? They prefer to be with another man than they would to prefer to be with a woman. So they're taken out of the deal. What about the men that are getting shot and killed? What about the men that are succumbing to diseases? So we got so many different areas of attack on black men. To find one to find one that defied those odds should in and of itself be a feat. But of the men that are the men that can scathe through by the hairs of their chinny chin chin, are they quality men? Most of them are being raised by women, mothers, single mothers. And so they process things like women. Does a real woman want to be with another woman? No. She wants to be with a man or somebody that walks, talks, thinks, and process things like men. So I'm not saying that all men are always going to stay that grew up in single parent homes by their mothers are always going to stay that way. Because what can happen is they accept the challenge and they improve themselves. I was raised by a single woman. I remember what I came out what I came out as when I first became a legal grown man, emotionally all over the place. But I couldn't possibly grow, change, and develop if I didn't own that. I was an emotional wreck and I worked towards becoming better. It's just that a two-parent household involved father, before that can get out of hand, a father that's allowed to be present in their child's life can, instead of correcting emotional wreckage, can begin to show them at an early age how to deal with their emotions appropriately and think like a man should. You can only give a child what you have to give. Now, 20 years ago, I had less to give to a child than I do now. I'm a better person now than I was then. I'm not saying that I was a bad person, but I'm better. And typically, what happened with men, and ladies, you're not going to like this either, a man gets better with age. The only way that a woman can possibly get better with age is if she has no usage. You say, well, if you're talking about women and not wanting to, them not having sex or whatever the case may be, well, we don't want men who's had sex with a lot of people. Well, let's think about this for a second too. How is get if a woman who is average looking, she has an average booty, she has an average chest, and she has an average face. If she makes up her mind tomorrow morning that she wants to go out and have sex, would it be difficult for her to have sex? No. So you're not going to get valued for what comes easy to you. You're just not. No one gets credit for something that comes so easy to them. But now let's look at a man. Now, we can look at myself. If I were single, how easy would it be for me to go out there and have sex with women? Lord have mercy. I had to show some symbol of money to even pique the interest of these women out here today. I couldn't just go out there and just say, yo, baby, let's go back to my place. Okay. Not with my type of not with my type of woman, not with my kind of women, the women that I like. Now, are there women out there that would be that easy? Sure. But they ain't the woman that I want to be with. So it would be difficult for me to go out there and have sex with a lot of women. The men that are able to have sex easily put on display in some capacity that they have. And I'm not interested in looking like I have. The man that goes out there and he has all of these, if a dude has a bunch of gold and diamonds around his neck and his wrist, and he looks shiny, he will get, and he looks halfway decent. He can be ugly actually. He gonna get a lot of sex just off the GP that he looked like he got some money. Now he gonna get a lot of ops and enemies that he don't know about because he flossing. But at the end of the day, if he looks like he got money, yeah, that will help him get some girls and have him have sex. But if you look like me on a typical day, sweatpants, t-shirt, toboggan kind of guy, right? It don't matter if I got dimples. It don't matter if I smile. If a woman likes my smile, it doesn't matter if a woman likes my height. All of those things mean nothing to women for real. For real. Show me the money, buddy. That's how it works. And to be real, I don't want to get with those types of women under any circumstances because guess what? It's headaches and problems that come with those types of women. Laugh and think it's funny. Remember the line from Coming to America? I'm looking for a woman that arouse my intellect as well as my loins. I'm on that type of stuff. I want to know that you're a real one before I show you what you're dealing with and what I have. I need to know you with me for the real reasons before I reveal to you what I can do for you. Matter of fact, I'm the type of guy that if a woman is checking for me and she pursues me, I am immediately turned off. I don't like that because I think it's something wrong. I don't know what it is. Something is, and something ain't right. I don't like to be pursued by women. I don't like to chase women either. Okay. I mean, I'm married, but what I'm saying is I don't like to be pursued at any point in my life. I didn't like to be pursued by women, and that hasn't changed. And I don't like to go out there and chase women either because it's a time waster and it gets me off my purpose. I like to go after my purpose. And then I am okay with whomever comes into my path. And then for me to analyze and have and use a spirit of discernment to determine if this is a real one or not. Innocent to proven guilty, right? No, guilty until proven innocent. I'm not saying that the glass is half full, the half empty when you meet me, but it's just like, let me see something. Show me something. Show me something. I'm not going to be the one asking, what do you bring to the table? I'm going to be asking with my ears and my eyes. And you're going to be telling me with your actions. This isn't just about a girl. This is about anybody that comes into my life for any capacity. I want to know what you bring into the table. You're going to make very clear early on what you're looking to get, but I need to see what you're willing to give. And don't ask me for the cheat sheet of what I'm looking for in a woman or in a business partner or in a friend. Don't ask me that. What I'm going to say to you is this. I'm going to be like, I don't know what to ask you for. I just want you to lean in, play me close, and figure it out. Because I want someone operating with me that's in tune with me. If I just tell you everything, you never need to get in tune with me. Find me interesting enough to find out and take interest in what might be something that is of value to me and that I need. Then I know it's real, and then I know it's organic. Halfway. Because some people will do those things just to get close enough to you. But the minute, the second, and the hour that I find out that you with me for no real reason, ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. So you don't have to be the best at anything. But as a man, you have to be able to go out there and you have to be able to acquire and secure. Everybody talks about going out there and getting the bag. I think sometimes going out there and getting the bag and stopping with getting the bag is worse than going to getting the bag at all. You have to be able to get and secure the bag. What does it mean to secure the bag as a man or anyone? That means what you did to get the bag, you have systems in place to make getting the bag again and again and again easier and easier and easier. And if you're excellent at what you do, you will have getting the bag set on autopilot. Like you don't have to do anything for it anymore. If I sell t-shirts on the corner and I'm making good money doing it, I'm getting the bag. If I set up a website and advertising to buy my shirts and have a drop shipper make and send my shirts, I have secured the bag. Does it make sense? Securing the bag means I don't have to do anything to get it. Getting the bag means I have to do something to get it. Now, there's a time and a place to go and get something. But if you're always getting something for the rest of your life, if you have to go out there and you have to get your meal every day, you're missing the point. You will not always have the hustle, the muscle to do the hustle. So while you have the muscle to do the hustle, you should be thinking of strategic ways of how you can get from in something to on something to be gone from something. Donald Trump does not work hard. Those businesses are set up to run self-sufficiently. The only thing that he does is he looks for or opens himself up to new opportunities. But when you are operating and you have things running on such an autopilot, people will be enamored, fellas, to come to you, and they'll want to be a part of you. This is where the saying comes from: the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Because what you have, you beget. You got a lot of money, you beget a lot of money. You have a lot of poverty, you'll beget a lot of poverty. And a lot of times, poverty for us as men and women are all in our minds. There is a scripture in Revelations chapter 2, verse 1, and it says, even though you are in poverty and suffering, even though you are rich, it's all state of mind. Law of attraction. Your mind attracts what you think on the most. If you have impoverished thoughts, you will have the manifestation of poverty. But if you have an abundant mindset, you'll have abundance manifest in your life. Some people tell you, oh, you're just being greedy. You're just doing this. You're just doing that. If you have a good heart and you know that you want to help people and make an impact, it is nothing wrong for you having an abundant mindset, because I would rather, and the world would rather, someone who has abundance to be kind hearted than to be selfish and mean spirited. But you see, selfish and mean spirited people don't have a hard time at all thinking of abundance. But good people are prohibited from thinking about abundance because, oh, that's greedy. No, it's not greedy. If I make billions, if I make billions of dollars and I am a kind-hearted person, I'm going to help people with my money. And billions of dollars is not what I need to survive. But billions of dollars, it elicits impact. So, fellas, don't share with people your abundant mindset. Keep that to yourself and work on the things for yourself. And don't worry about these girls out here. That girl that you think is cute, that's not giving you time, count your blessings, because you don't want somebody that ain't giving you time. If you are a man of valor, if you are a man walking in your purpose, if you are walking in your authority, you don't want a woman that you got to chase. You want a woman that's going to work hard to keep up with you. You are no woman's helpmate, but women were created to be helpmates. That's not a look down position, ladies. That's a very glamorous position, to be real, because you're most equipped to do that. Why are you fighting to be doing something? Well, let me rephrase that. Why are you fighting to do something that you're not really equipped to do? Doing something that you're not equipped to do will wear you down faster than anything compared to what you are supposed to do. Yeah, you got business aspirations. You know, you want to do this for the community. You want to do that. You want to live a life of this, that, and the other, whatever the case may be. It's a good friend of mine that said to me, a woman is designed to magnify her man, and a man is in turn going to enhance his woman. You know what that means? That means the best way that a woman, I'm not saying it's the only way, but why would you trick with doing something that's not the best way? That's foolishness. Why would you take a job making $10 an hour when one's being offered to you for $20 an hour? You'd have to work twice as much to make the same money. And that's what you're doing when you're out of line and out of pocket. You are working harder than you have to. So, if a woman role is to find her king and be the best companion and the best partner, helpmate to her king, it's not for her to be with any kind of man. It's for her to find her king, a man that she can be submissive to, a man that she can feed, a man that she can screw, and a man that she can follow. If you're with a man that you don't really want to do one of those three things, I'm not saying that that's not the man for you. That might be the case. You can't bring yourself to doing it, and he's a quality man. If a man is of quality and you can't feed him consistently, regardless of how you feel, if you can't screw him when he needs it, regardless of how you feel, and you can't follow him, regardless as to how you feel, it's either something wrong. It's something wrong with you if he deserves that. Well, what man deserves that? See, you don't need to be with a man. For you to think that no man deserves that is the exact reason that you got to work on some things about yourself. Because the right man, when you give it to him, he's going to turn around and give it to you. Matter of fact, the abundance that he has, he's going to give it to you. That's the best way for you to get what you want, ladies. If you don't like what I'm saying, kiss my natural black. This ain't for you. Go into your waywardness world and do things that you want to do. But as for a man who understands his value, the best thing that you can do, ladies, is to find is if that man falls to one knee and gives you the opportunity to have access to a relationship, and you want access to a relationship with him, then those three things should, I'm not saying should come easy, but you should make covenant to do. Don't accept an engagement from a man that you can't respect. You talk about, and then you keep getting with men aren't worthy of being with you, and then you keep saying that men aren't worthy, that men are trash. No, you keep finding yourself with trash. You know why? Because 9 times out of 10, that's what you are. You trash. You trash and you garbage. You in the you the garbage can, and you keep wondering why people keep dumping trash in your life. Well, you got to do something about that. Fellas, don't tolerate it. And I don't care how long you've been with someone. You let them know straight up. Look at here. I'm going to only tell you this once. I shouldn't have to tell you this, but I'm going to, because I want us to work out. Look at here. Don't tell a woman what you want from her. Men shouldn't be concerned with what they want. You should only be concerned with what you need, because you were designed to create value. So don't try to pull value out of a woman that's not there. They're not designed to do certain things. So you need to just say to them just like this: look, I want to be with you. I want to continue to be with you. The only way I'm going to be with you is you're going to have to feed me, screw me, and follow me consistently, no matter what. Unless it's a freaking medical condition. That's what the three things you're going to have to do. And in order for you to feed me, I'm not talking about just food. I'm talking about positivity. I'm talking about peace. I'm talking about environment. I'm talking about atmosphere. I'm talking about all of those things. When I talk about screw me, when I talk about F me, when I'm talking about love me down, I'm not just talking about sex. Yes, I am talking about sex. Okay. But I am also talking about coming in and making me feel good, touching me, being able to, without using words, provide peace for me. All of these different types of things that fall under the category of love. And following me, that's going to be respect. Okay. That means respect me, respect my time, respect my energy. And when I say do something, do it. If I say do something, do it. If you feel like at any point that what I'm saying is compromising who you are as a person, you always have the green light to say, I wish to not follow you at this particular point. It may hurt my feelings. It may make me cry, because men and women have the same emotions. It may hurt me. It may make me cry, but I'm not going to force you to stay with me. I'll cry. I'll cry while you walk out of the door. I'll cry as I walk out of the door. But I don't want to be with somebody that don't want to be with me. So if at any point in time you decide you don't want to be with me, you don't have to be with me. You can always go. But while you're with me, I'm the captain and you my first mate. And I expect you to understand that every day. Write it on your forehead, write it on your wrist, write it on your heart. But I need you to follow me. I don't need you to question my decisions. If you feel like my decision making process is questionable, you have every right to leave. That's it. You understand? Fellas, that's what you got to stand on. That's what you got to be about. And sometimes, fellas, you got to inflict yourself to appropriately inflict them. See, your problem is you think you have to inflict them. But sometimes you got to take something away from that's going to hurt even you. You got to take something away from them to let them know that they can't run game on you. Because see, some women, they will ration out the cootie cat. They'll ration it out because they know when they get in trouble, that's what they can lean on and work on. You got to change that, fellas, to when she's not doing what she's supposed to do, that she don't take the shortcut to rectify that. That cootie cat is a shortcut for a lot of women. Yeah, baby, I wish you ran bath water for me. And yeah, baby, I wish you, put on lingerie. And I wish you light some candles or whatever it is that you into. Baby, I wish you would do this, that, and the third or whatever the case. Man, they never do that till they get in trouble. Until they at odds with you. They'll never do that. Now they at odds with you and they want things to be right. So you already gave them a playbook on what they had to do. So guess what they go do? When you come home that night, the bath water is ran. She's in sexy lingerie. Everything that you said she want. She listening to you, but she's holding it in the back. So as a just in case fire extinguisher, break open in the case of emergency. She should be doing that without being in trouble. She shouldn't be doing that only when she's in trouble. And you got a lot of women that'll do that today. And I don't care if you hear me and saying that I want the smoke. I want all of the problems with you women that are like that. I want all of y'all bump you, you inhumane person. You, I could say some more stuff, but I'm not. But I'm just saying, I don't care about what they think. Like I don't care. Listen, fellas, you can't care about what a woman feels unless it's in line with the will for your life. You're supposed to take them into consideration to a certain extent. You take them into consideration as long as it doesn't derail you or take you off of your path and your purpose. Your purpose can't, your girl can't be more important than your purpose, and your wife can't be more important than your purpose, because your purpose is tied into them and the embetterment of their lives. You get off your purpose, everything falls apart. Everything falls apart at that point. You can't do that. Baby, I'm going to tell you just like this. I want to be with you and I want to be with you forever. But I can't give you unconditional. The days are gone of unconditional love. Now, I don't have a lot of conditions, but these are the conditions. You got to do what's right every day. Even when it hurts, you're just going to have to develop a propensity to do what's right. Number two, you're going to have to live consciously with me, and you're going to have to be thoughtful about what I need. I'm not going to tell you what I need and what I don't need. I want you to be in tune with me enough to know what I need and anticipate me. You're supposed to be my helpmate, and you're supposed to be my companion. You can't be my companion and my helpmate when you feel like being my companion and helpmate. You made a covenant vow that you would be that no matter if things are good or bad. Remember, the better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, to death do us part. You made a covenant that you were going to do that, right? So if you break like any contract, if the contract says that you have to behave this way and you have to conduct yourself this way, then that means that if you're not doing that, you are actually in breach of the contract that we have with each other. So if you're in breach of the contract, then you're susceptible to being in a situation where I say all bets are off, because you hold me to that standard. Remember, Chris Rock said it best. He said the only people that get unconditional love is women, children, and dogs. He said, but men get love under the condition that they provide something. So men can provide something for 20 years straight. And in year 21, if he's not providing it anymore, it's like the 20 years that he provided, like it never happened. Like it never happened. So we need to start holding our women to that same standard. And they might not like you for it, but your family and your legacy will thank you for it. Because if you know you got to do something, listen, I would rather be with a woman for 6 years straight and get a divorce, but those 6 years she did what she was supposed to do, and I did what I was supposed to do, and she makes a decision that she doesn't want to be with me anymore, than for her to limp through the 6 years and then leave me in 6 years anyway. If you're here, you're going to do what you're supposed to do. If you have a job, you're going to do your assignment. If you have a role, you're going to do that role. And it doesn't matter how you feel. That role needs to be fulfilled consistently, and that role needs to be done. And the same expectation you have of me doing what I'm supposed to do as a man, I'm going to have the same expectation of you doing what you're supposed to do as a woman. Period. And if fellas, if you're too weak to stand on that because you're afraid to lose somebody, that says more about you and why you need to get yourself together. Because I can promise you this, if you get to a place where you're above average, you're not going to have average standards. You can't have great standards and you're average. You can only have average standards. If you are putrid, trash, rotten, garbage juice, then you can only have putrid, trash, garbage juice standards. That means you have to accept anything and hope you get more than you deserve. Do you want to live a life of putridity like that? No, you want to live a life where you have and you can dictate your options. You can dictate your situations. You can dictate your circumstances. And if that means you need to be alone and beat your meat until you get to a point where you can share something with someone, well, then do that, because you don't have a biological clock. And if you can't find a quality wife in your 20s and you can't find them in your 30s and you haven't found them in your 40s and you don't get to have one until you're 50, better to find the quality right one in your 50s than to find one earlier that puts you through the ringer and takes you to the bank and cleaners. So we're going to end it right there. This is no slight and disrespect to women, but when you're not in pocket of doing what you're supposed to do as a man or a woman, you should feel some type of way. You should feel some type of slightness. Ladies, if you feel like your husband is the enemy, but you won't take accountability for why you're in the situation that you're in, then maybe your husband is supposed to feel like an enemy. What, because he checked you? Because he called you out on your bull crap? Now you feel like y'all are at odds and y'all are enemies with each other? Good. I'm glad you feel that way. You should feel that way, because no ally is going to lie. No ally is going to cheat. No ally is going to be disrespectful. That's not what an ally does. An ally is someone you can count on. An ally is someone you can depend on. And an ally is someone that can't bring themselves to doing certain things to you for anyone. You just need to just go ahead and back yourself up. Take a deep breath. Take that pride, throw it in the trash. You have no business wearing pride. Men, you shouldn't have pride ruling you either. But women in particular that's choosing to wear that yoke around their neck, an unwarranted unwarranted yoke around your neck. Let me tell you something. You need to take that yoke of pride and ego, ladies, and you need to swallow that, spit it out, poop it out, whatever it needs to be. Humble yourself. Go to your man. Own everything you did wrong. Don't be general. Own specifically what you did wrong. And make the commitment you're not getting close to doing that again. See, a decision, when you make a decision, it's instantaneously. The desire doesn't go anywhere initially. The desire must be choked out, starved out, to die out. But understand, when you choke something out like desire for something and you conquer it to the point where it's dead, Don't forget, it can be resurrected. And every day, a person who I'll never forget, Chris Carter was on TV one day, football player, one of the best wide receivers of all time. Nobody talks about him, but he's one of the best. Shout out Ohio State. Chris Carter said, they asked him about what is it like to be over having an alcohol addiction and being over that for 20 some years. And his answer was very poignant. He said, essentially, he said, just because I haven't done it in all those years doesn't mean that I can't turn around and do it again. Like I'm one bad decision away from drinking alcohol again. Once you have a demon and you think you killed a demon, that demon just might be down and might need something to happen for it to resurrect in your life. That's why you don't go out there and amass things that you have to say, I'm sorry about, because it becomes a new demon for you that you have to fight with the rest of your life, or fight to keep from becoming a problem in your life. Now, I've never done crack cocaine, so I don't have the demon of crack cocaine hovering over me. But if I did do crack cocaine and I got over it, I'm never to the point where I'm in a safe zone from not doing crack cocaine. I would have developed, by the choice and the decision to do that, I would have developed a demon that will always be with me and haunt me for the rest of my days. And yes, the rest of my days, when I decide to stop doing cocaine, I could say to myself, I could never do cocaine again and live my entire life and then die and never have done cocaine. But it didn't mean that I didn't fight the constant battle to keep the demon of cocaine off of me. Do you understand? So when you think about apologizing, when you think about apologies don't necessarily change the situation. It just means it's an acknowledgement, but we have to carry on with that burden. So if you're dragging enough in your wagon and you do something wrong, you are adding extra weight to the wagon. And that person can forgive you, but that person will have to carry that extra weight of what you did for the rest of their lives. And yes, they can develop a muscle to make it easier to carry that burden, but they're carrying the burden. So you got to be careful with the word I'm sorry. That's why it's important for you to do everything that you know is right today. In that moment, you have to be excellent in your moment, because if you're not, whatever you do wrong, you'll have to carry it. I mean, listen, I try to do the right thing all the time, but there are times that I don't do the right thing. And guess what? I am not exempt from having to carry what I did wrong. I didn't eat the things that I was supposed to eat, so I developed diabetes. I can say I'm sorry and I can change my ways, but I always have diabetes that I have to deal with, right? And if I do things the way that I did to get them again, then my diabetes will flare up again and it will cause havoc in my life. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever you do, you can apologize for it. And it is not over because the person that you did it to accepts your apology. It may not make things go back to the way it was. If you don't care about the way things are, and you want to go out there and make a decision that's going to change forever the way things are, then go ahead and be my guest. But if you're taking the way things are for granted, and you do something and it changes the way things are forever, you can never get it back. And you can't be mad because a person doesn't make it like it was. Remember that song? Make it like it was. You remember that song? You can't make it like it was. It's like the world that we live in today. The world that we live in today is not the world that we lived in 4 years ago. Everybody running around hugging people, saying hi and everything like that. Now everybody's worried about catching something, getting sick, dying. And the world will never be the same again. You see, remember when we would see Asian people come over here and they will be wearing those masks years ago, and we used to kind of say, man, why aren't they wearing masks? They went through a situation over there in China. I believe, with SARS that changed them forever, scarred them. And they made it a point, okay, I can be around people, but I have to wear this mask. And even today, you go to the grocery store, and in a lot of places, there are not a lot of people wearing masks, okay, including myself, right? But there are people out there that are still wearing masks. Do you know why they're wearing masks? Because they're either, to them personally or to somebody that they love, they got scars from what we went through. Maybe somebody they knew died. Maybe somebody they knew got sick, got into contact with somebody else and got them sick. And then that second person died. And they don't have the mental capacity to be able to bring death to anyone, let alone people that they love. So, there's always a reason why people do what they do. And there's always a reason, because because experience shapes people. So listen, man or woman, try to take one moment at a time. Do the very best you can in your moment. I'm not saying you're not going to make a mistake. I'm not saying you're going to mess up. But wouldn't your life be a higher quality if the only mistakes that you made are the mistakes that you honestly made? Like, you just didn't know you made them? Like, you tried to avoid making them? You tried to do your best and it didn't work out? Yeah. That's a life that I call excellent. Not a person who never makes mistake, but a person who, when they know right from wrong, chooses to do right even when it's tough. And even if they get to a point where even they know right from wrong and they still do wrong, if the math ain't adding up to the point where they just make bad decisions because they just so emotional, like, that's a stand-up girl, that's a stand-up guy. You understand? So we're gonna get up out of here, man. We're gonna get up out of here. But I mean, I'm telling you right now, fellas, stand on what your principles are and what you believe. Stand on doing what's right. Stand on improving yourself and becoming better. But also, don't lower your standards because somebody else wants to have access to you that don't deserve access to you. And if you feel like what is before you is the best that you ever had, always remember the best is yet to come. Just because what is before you presenting itself to you in terms of a woman or opportunity as the best opportunity that you've had in the past, understand, because you have become better, is 9 times out of 10, while the opportunity that's in front of you that is better than anything that it looked like before, it doesn't mean that's your only opportunity. If it is I'm not telling you to be picky and have stupid expectations for women or what opportunities. But what I'm saying is, if it's an opportunity, it's one thing. But if it's the opportunity for you, is something else. And the opportunity for you is going to, with very much so a sense of ease, going to gel and jive with your purpose. Something that is not for you is going to go and cause friction in terms of you continuing to pursue your purpose. A woman is supposed to magnify you, elevate you, magnify and elevate you, raise you to a level that you normally couldn't get to. That's what a real woman does for you. But if you've had things going on in your life and now you have this woman and things are going and happening more difficult for you, I'm not telling you to point the blame, but I'm just saying you may not be paired up right. If you look yourself in the mirror first and say, I did everything that I can do, and yet I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to do, and I'm having a harder time now, it may be because of who's surrounding you. And you may need to move differently and possibly cut that person off, even if you are married to them or whatever the case may be. Look, clearly these relationships aren't working out, and these 80% of the women that filed a divorce, I mean, that all of the divorces that happen are filed 80% by women. You saw some flags there that you should have left her too. You might need to leave her. Love her deeply. Sometimes you got to love them and leave them alone. Sometimes you got to love them and leave them alone. And that goes for family members, friends, cousins, uncles, aunts, whatever the case may be. Some people, you got to love them and leave them alone. They are not trying to help you. They trying to exploit you. They like the benefit of you. They don't like you. They don't love you. They love the benefit that you provide. And you can't have leeches in your life, because once you suck dry, you ain't got nothing to give. Somebody want to be in your life, they're going to fight to be in your life. They're going to fight the good fight. They're going to do the things they're supposed to do. They're not going to let anything and anyone get between you. That's the type of woman that you want to be with. You don't want a woman, you don't want to be with a woman that's cavalier with your relationship. Like, if you want to leave, leave. Now, you shouldn't be threatening her to leave. But what I'm saying is, she should feel the threat of you not tolerating her stuff, and she should humble herself, and she should come to grips with what she knows she's doing wrong. But if she always feel like she ain't never doing nothing wrong, homie, you know what you got to do. You got to get up out of there. You got to get up out of there, because I'm telling you, bro, a woman, she will either build you up or tear you down. She can't do nothing else. She can't help you sustain nothing. She either is going to, she is, listen, two or more is a multiple, right? So when a man is by himself, everything is addition and subtraction. But when a man gets him a woman, man, addition and subtraction is over. Everything is division and multiplication. And either she is going to multiply you, or she is going to divide you. She is not, even if she, whether she's conscious of doing it or not, she is going to do one or the other. She taking from you and your family, and she's going and she's doing something for her mama, her daddy. She doing out there and she's doing something for her sister, her brother. Instead of building with you, it's not important for you for her to do something with you and protect and bring in and keep and what's in for you. You go out there and you work hard, and she taking from you. She's stealing from you, and she's stealing from you, and she giving her crackhead sister money. She giving her crackhead sister, a crackhead brother money. She going out there and she giving her bum ass mama, her bum ass daddy, or whatever the case may be, money, taking care of problems and shit that they have. And when the shoe's on the other foot, those people don't do nothing for you. They don't help you when you having a hard time. They don't help you when you having a problem. They're there to be able to partake in the benefits of you, but they never are beneficial to you. When is the last time they helped you raise the dollar? When is the last time they helped you with your business? When is the last time they helped you with your vision? When is the last time they did anything for you? When is the last time they called you? Dude, your wife's supposed to know that. And you're supposed to know that about your family too. So if somebody in your family ain't supportive of your wife and your children, or whatever the case may be, ain't there to support, ain't never doing nothing automatically, you got to drag them to you to be able to do what they should want to do. Then you just need to make a note of that and be like, okay, I understand your position with me, but just because you have a position with me, you're not really doing a good job of it. So now that I know that, I'll move accordingly. I'm not going to invest in something that don't give me no rate of return. Why would I invest in a wife if there is no rate of return? Why would I invest in a sibling if there's no rate of return? If I look back and I see I don't care how much I love you. If I look back and every time I think about us, it's me doing something for you and you not doing anything for me. It ain't even got to be monetary. You don't even give me your time. You little to nothing to me. And I don't care. I'll hang the phone up on you. I'll cut you off cold turkey. I don't give a darn. If you coming into my life, I don't mind sharing. I don't mind sharing the sugar. If you coming into my life and you're not there to help me in any capacity, not there to make my life easy, don't have or want a relationship to me, don't come to me and say, is there anything that I can do to help you? At no point. Deuces. I don't care who you are. You can be my own mama. You can be my own mama. You ain't nobody entitled to you on this earth. And if you are in covenant, I'm talking about with your wife and your kids. Yes, you're supposed to be there for your wife and your kids. But I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to tell you something right now. It's already enough. Your kids aren't going to, as a man, as a husband, as a father, your kids aren't going to always have the full appreciation for you. You're making a commitment to them, not because of what they're going to give you. You're making a commitment to them because that's the commitment that you're making based on your position. Same thing with your wife. But it's different with your wife because if your wife is not going to be an asset to you, there's a reevaluation. I don't care how much you love her. I don't care how much you care about her. There's got to be a reevaluation of her position. Maybe she's just designed to be the mother of your children. But if she can take from you and not bake with you, you got to shake. You're going to take, not bake. I got to shake. All right. I'm out. Love you guys.